everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, but you can call me Grizzer, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and the tidbits that are tied to our favorite team in the NFL. That is, of course, the Cleveland Browns, and then we give you our take or our opinion on the news along the way. Thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes, who have subscribed to the channel, and all of you who get your comments down there in the viewer comment section. And let me tell you, if you like graphics, this is the show for you. Coming up on today's show, the interview requests have already started coming in, but doesn't mean it's a good candidate. The Browns should be able to find one of the best prospects available because we have the most desirable head coaching vacancy in the league, in my opinion. From the scary similar department, we compare Shedeur Sanders' stats to an NFL Hall of Fame quarterback that everybody knows. And then down in the viewer comments, a message for Deion Sanders, not Shedeur. A message for prime time. All right, we'll find out. We'll find out what's going on. But how about this search for a new coach? Holy moly. It's been crazy already. It's probably getting even crazier as I talk. But I'm going to tell you this. First year, Kubiak. He's gotten requests for interviews from the Giants, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Falcons. Everybody wants Kubiak. Everybody's talking to Kubiak. Then you hear Kingsbury's on the beach. Commandos said, we're done with you. Cliff, jump off your name. Giants already want to talk to him. They're also talking to Stefanski. Then you hear this. The Browns, they're going to interview Todd Monken, the Ravens offensive coordinator. Now, right away, I mean, he got a lot of requests, but here's the thing. The offense in Baltimore this year was 11th ranked. Now, you say, well, Lamar Jackson was hurt a lot. Yeah, there's that. But, I mean, he had a couple of, number one ranked offense 1 year, fourth ranked offense, and he was a head coach before, but at Southern Miss. So everybody's wondering about Todd Monken. Right away, I was like, I don't think we want to go that route. But then the news breaks that Baltimore wasn't done. They said, it's not just Monken who's out of here. It is the head coach, John Harbaugh. After 18 years, he's out. Let's look at this resume. I was like, holy moly. Here we go. Look at this. Won the Super Bowl in 2012, 12 playoff berths, 13 playoff wins. This is John Harbaugh's resume. Four AFC championship appearances. Most road playoff wins in NFL history, 8. Over 180 wins, only 3 losing seasons, and 2019 Coach of the Year. But I'm not done. We needed 2 pay. I tried to go to the land of small fonts to fit it all in. It didn't work. Here we go. Look at this. Known for building a stable, defensive-focused team, leading the Ravens to multiple top-ranked defenses, also coached Lamar Jackson to 2 MVPs. How about that? There you go. So now everybody's like, yeah, let's go, man. We got a coach. Let's go get him. Not so fast, my friend. Doesn't make him a good man. Doesn't mean he's a good candidate. Is he a no-nonsense guy? Yeah, he's a lot of the things we want, but pump the brakes and let me get you through this, okay? Because I go, okay, well, what was the problem? And I consulted Mike Luciano from the Ebony Bird. And this is how he broke it down. He said he completely misevaluated the offensive line, remained overly committed to struggling Zach Orr as the defensive coordinator, and essentially lit multiple games on fire this season by picking Cooper Rush over Tyler Huntley when Lamar Jackson got hurt. That's only the beginning. Here's what else he said. Combined with Harbaugh's propensity for blowing leads despite having the best clock-chewing tandem in the league in Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, He was someone who just looks outdated now with each passing season, saying the league's passing him by, man. He'll be Baltimore royalty for sure for winning that Super Bowl, but he started to look more outdated, and he cost the Ravens another chance at a ring in Lamar Jackson's prime. That's what they're saying. So, whether would a fresh start mean and completely did it now? And everybody said, "Oh well, didn't he fight with Jim Schwartz?" Or no, that was Jim Harbaugh that fought with Jim Schwartz, and that was back in 2011. It was Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh admitted it was his fault for doing that whole thing. So, so for anybody who thinks that Harbaugh is not going to come here because Jim Schwartz is here, but the other thing is this: the Ravens ran a 3-4 that morphed into a 5-5, different defense. Would that work? I don't know, but I do. I mean, it'll be. I think you got to talk to him. I mean, why? I mean, he's in the division. Come on, you got to at least talk to him, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But man, oh man, I could not believe that. I thought, well, Lamar's hurt all, but when you dig a little deeper, you find some things out, and sure enough, we did. So we will see how that all plays out. But here, whether it's Harbaugh or whoever gets this job, you're going to get one of what I'm calling it the most desirable coaching job in the NFL. But this is what got me. This grinded my gears. Jared Dubin from CBS Sports ranked the 6 head coaching openings from most desirable to least desirable, and you already know where I'm going with this. But this is what he came up with. He said the Falcons are the most desirable because they have a strong offensive talent with Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Pitts. Pitts is a free agent though, so he might not be there. Solid offensive line, good ownership, blah, 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 blah. The Giants are second. Stable ownership, and GM Joe Schoen is returning. Who cares? It's the Giants. Tennessee, third. Solid middle-tier option in the ranking. The Raiders, a mid-tier choice. The Raiders are so far from a Super Bowl, it's not even funny. And then there's us at 5, ranked lower due to perceived challenges. What challenges? Durbin, I'm talking to you, or Dubin, whatever, Jared Dubin, I'm going to coach you up here in a minute. And then the Cardinals showed offensive flashes, but faced cap and draft issues. And I'm like, are you kidding me with this? So, why? So, and I'm like, okay, well, Mr. Dubin, I'm like, hold on a second. Let me coach you up here because the Brownies, we should be number 1 on your list, Jared Dubin, and here is why. We have the most desirable head coaching vacancy in the league. Why, you ask? Here's why. We have a strong defensive foundation with Myles Garrett leading. Our defense is anchored by probably the best defensive player in the league right now. And the rest of the defense is pretty darn good too. We have the high draft capital. We got all those picks, including 2 first-rounders. We got promising young talent from last year's draft, including Shedeur Sanders, our franchise quarterback. You don't have to pick a quarterback, and you got all those draft guys, and you got all these rookies that balled out. You have an owner who's willing to spend money, and you have stability in key roles. Andrew Berry's staying. There you go. They want Schwartz to stay. I mean, they're making it easier on you. And then you have the opportunity to come in here and fix them, to be a fixer in a rebuilding market. Come in here and fix this team. Because here's the thing. With Andrew, the other thing is this, and this is why I bring up Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry and the Browns' analytic-driven front office appeals to many modern coaches. And so, they want alignment between coaching, scouting, and data. And so the Browns are doing that, sometimes to a fault, but they do it, and then listen. This is Cleveland, baby. Birthplace of football, pro football, is an hour and 15 minutes south of here, Canton. It's where the Hall of Fame is. This is football. We live and breathe football here in Cleveland, Ohio. And you win a Super Bowl here, or you have a deep playoff run even next year, you will forever become an icon. Like, we love Marty Schottenheimer. When you go back and look at his record, he was only like, I don't know, 5 or 6 games over 500 for his career. Well, we love Marty because we were going to the playoffs every year and going to the AFC Championship with Bernie. I'm telling you, statues. You win a Super Bowl. You are a head coach and win a Super Bowl here in Cleveland, statues. Multiple statues. That's what you get. Not just one statue. You'll get multiple statues here in Cleveland if you win a Super Bowl. The coach who does it, man, here in Cleveland, they're going to have a parade for the team. They'll have a separate parade for you, too. That's what we're going to do. I'm telling you, man, we will carry you all around the city and to the suburbs. Take you to Strongsville, North Royalton, Berea, Olmsted Falls, Avon, North Ridgeville, everywhere. We'll take you everywhere. I'm telling you. And wait, I haven't even gotten to this. Brand new stadium in 2029. Jimmy's World is coming in Brook Park. So you tell me what is the most desirable head coaching vacancy in football now. Because it is 100% the Cleveland Browns without a doubt. Now, what also is not debatable is this. Shedeur Sanders' stats, when you compare them to the greatest, the GOAT, Tom Brady's stats, you're like, Dave, come on. Come on. Trust me on this. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't true. Actual and factual. Here we go. This is Tommy Brady's first 7 starts. That's what I'm comparing, like I did with Manning. First 7 starts. Here you go. Completion percentage, 64%, 1,400 yards, about 210 a game. 10 TD passes, 4 interceptions. Yards per attempt, 6.8. Passer aggregate, low 90s. Most games, 80 to 120. Okay, tuck that away into your memory. Tommy's stats. Got it? Take a look. Ready? Here we go, Shedeur. Higher completion percentage, 65.8. Almost as many passing yards, 1,353. Now, the touchdown passes to interceptions, yeah, he threw more interceptions, but we already know that at least 2, probably closer to 4, aren't even his fault. See Jerry Jeudy and then see Cam Robinson. Yards per attempt, 6.9. How about them apples? More than Tom. And then the passer aggregate, 71.3. Brady was in the low 90s, like we said. Need I say more? I'll keep finding these Hall of Fame quarterbacks in their first 7 starts to compare to Shedeur's first 7 starts. I will. I'll just keep doing it. Because there are enough haters out there. I'll keep finding them. If you're going to sit there and tell me there's not enough to work with here, then I don't think you're never going to be convinced. I don't know what else you're supposed to look at. Manning and Brady so far. There's more. We'll keep finding them as the days and months go along. If I need to, I'll keep going until I have to stop. But he's right there with Manning. His stats are right there with Brady as well. What's not to like? That's what I say. You know what else is not to like? The viewer comments. And today we will start with Divine Virtuous Woman 0. That kind of sounds like a website that you have to be 18 and over to get on. Divine Virtuous Woman 0. But she has a great take. It appears the Browns need a confident coach who holds his own while respecting all the players' talents, period. Ego and pride should never conflict with the team they lead, period. And that is what ultimately really cost Stefanski his job. He's not a leader. And that's what Barry said in the press conference. We need a leader first. And we've been telling you I've been saying it for 5 years. After his first year on the job, and we got into that second year, I'm like, this guy is not a leader. He's not it. This is not good. And here we are, 6 years later, and I was right. I don't want to be right. I want Browns to win Super Bowls. That's what I want. But I was right. He wasn't a leader. And his offense is trash. But first things first, we need, and we talked about this. Remember, we talked about the guys who are respected and, like D'Amico Ryans and these guys that just, Sean Payton, hold people accountable. Just, it has to be that way. It has to be that way. Adjust the camera. It has to be that way. When you're the head coach in the NFL, you have to be able to be a leader, man. And Kevin Stefanski was not a leader. J.R. Solomon, R2P. Cleveland GM and owner has common sense. Shedeur played with 2 backup linemen. It's actually more like 3 or 4. 2 scout team linemen, scout team running back and tight end, and beat the Steelers and Bengals. Flacco and Gabriel played with starters and lost. Facts. And he's right. I mean, that's it. I mean, Shedeur was complete makeshift out there. What was going on? It was not a pretty sight. What was happening with Shedeur and everything that he had to deal with. So everybody, and that's when he was named QB1. That's when the sketchy injury reports started happening. Man, Teller's hurt. He's not. His performance, this and that, and Ward wants to play, but they told him, no, you don't need to play, even though we're playing Buffalo and they got Josh Allen at quarterback. Nah, you don't. Like all this sketchiness that was going on, and then you got Can't Block Robinson over there with Levinson on the other side. Complete disaster. So, no, man, those are all facts, J.R. Solomon. You are absolutely correct. Gigi Free, 5783. Did Barry forget to mention Dylan? Dylan agent needs to get the PR machine going. Guarantee whoever hires Kevin will not want Dylan as QB1. I agree. And it's funny because somebody else commented and asked me, did anybody check on the supercomputer? And I told them I'll call IT to see if they can go look at him. But yeah, we didn't hear much about Dylan. We haven't in the last few days because everybody knows it. Everybody knows it, which, and the fact that Barry doesn't even bring it up. I mean, it just tells you that was Kevin's guy, man. He was gonna die on that hill, man, and he sure did. He definitely did. Wow, that's just crazy. It's crazy to think that was the guy you thought was going to take you to the promised land. But again, smartest guy in the room. He thinks he's gonna take this guy, and I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. Everybody's gonna tell me he's too small and he's left-handed and he can't see over the line, and he only throws 2-yard passes, but I don't care. I'm going to go win a Super Bowl with him. No, you're not, Kevin. We can all see it. Wouldn't listen. Smartest guy in the room. Butch Groves, 4908, says, as long as Jimmy owns the team, there'll never be a game changer. Here's what I'll say about that. I didn't, with everything going on the last couple of days, I thought Haslam came off pretty well in that press conference the other day. I thought, he looked beaten. He looked a little distressed. He looked like he had been through it, man. When he said it was a tough decision, I don't think it was tough, the decision to fire Kevin. It's just tough to fire somebody who's been part of the organization for 6 years and, went through some things and have been around, and the thing is, he is such a nice guy. He's a super. That's kind of what did him in too, because nice guy. You can't be a nice guy and be a leader in the NFL, lead a head coach. So you gotta have some kind of a. You gotta kind of be a D sometimes, right? It's just the way it goes. But I have to give Haslam credit. I thought he handled himself really well in that press conference. I thought he came off well. I thought he came off. I didn't feel like he was lying to us. I thought he was genuine. And so Butch Groves, I will say that about that. But I think Jimmy was so focused on getting that stadium deal done that's where 99.5% of his focus has been the last couple of years. Now, look at stadium deal's done. Here he is. We're back. Okay, wait a minute. We got to fight. We got to change this up. So that's where I think Jimmy's head was at. So we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward now. We got Kevin out of the way, and let's see what happens. But I did think Jimmy did a nice job in that press conference, my opinion. Michelle Barnes is where we're going to end. Michelle Barnes, 575, and this is what we teased at the top. She is a message that she would like us to send to prime time, and I hope he can get it. Prime time. I love prime time. I told you the story about when he won me that bet when back in the day, my dad and I watching that San Francisco game against New Orleans. And the only way I was going to cover if Deion picked one off and ran it back, and he did. I wanted to be Deion, man. Back to the Florida State days when I was playing football, like, man, oh man, I wanted to be Deion. I wanted to be Deion. Love Deion. I love when he did the NFL highlight show too, when it was him and Mooch, and I think Rich Eisen was doing it at the time. But he would set up at the corner of 21st and Prime and do his thing. And I remember that was when Josh Cribbs was running punts back like every other game or whatever. And he just kept going, pay the man, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. You got to pay the guy. But I love Prime. I love Prime. Okay, back to Michelle Barnes, 575, and her message to Prime. Here we go. She says, good morning, Grizz. I am a CU auntie, and I don't want Deion. Prime, please keep helping young men develop. Please don't leave Juju. He loves you. I'm also afraid of the locker room. You're a disciplinarian. What happens when you make Judy run after he drops a pass? Does he then drop a TD in the end zone to kill your stats and Shedeur's? And Shiloh said the stress of coaching affects your health. Imagine the stress of the NFL. Don't do it. Michelle Barnes, 575, that is from the heart. Man, that might be, from all the viewer comments that we have ever gotten, that one came straight from the heart. And that's the thing with Deion. And he's he has really shown no interest in coaching in the NFL because I think he knows what these guys, this is like 1,000-hour-a-week job, man, head coach in the NFL. And the way where his health is now, I honestly figured he was going to, after Shedeur left, I thought maybe he'd give Colorado one more year and then, retire from college football as well. But he's still hanging on, which is great. And Michelle makes a great point, man. Developing young men, he could be the conduit and get them to the pros. But that's not to say, like, if he left Colorado, I would get him on our staff, because, he's a Hall of Famer with a lot of insight. Could help with the draft maybe too. Who knows? But head coach, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think his health would do. But Michelle Barnes, that was a phenomenal take. I appreciate your input. That was awesome. All right. Well, this is going to be changing like every 2 seconds, the way it's going right now. The interview requests and everything going out. So we'll just try to keep up the best as we can. But there we go. We'll just keep our eyes on it. The Browns keep looking for their head coach. That'll do it for today's show. Go Browns! We'll see you next time.